MCLians. I'm here with the very famous in the cycling world, Chris Sutton. Christos.
How you going, mate?
Good to see you. He's given up very kindly a portion of his afternoon here from his State of Matter map duties at the Tour of Tasmania. Kern Brussels Kern, second to Wigo at Sub Tour, including 3 stages in that race. Stage of the Vuelta a España. The list actually goes on and on. You finished up with Team Sky last year, and now you're into DSing, giving back to the juniors. Mate, tell us where your life's at the moment.
Yeah, just exactly what you said. So I got forced into retirement with a back injury, which was pretty hard to take. I went through depression. Never admitted it at the time. I was in denial about it. But with the support of my wife, she's absolutely amazing. And yeah, she got me through it, and I've come out the other side. And yeah, now DSing, I always wanted to. I had a childhood dream, and I just always wanted to help the juniors out and say, hey, you've got a dream to turn pro. It is possible. So I'm here trying to help young kids turn pro.
So you started cycling when you were 11 years of age, and then in 2005 it was Cofidis that you signed for?
Yeah, at the end of 2005, my first year with Cofidis was 2006. So I was with back then it was the under-23 AIS Map A squad.
Yeah.
So
have some good alumni come through there.
Yeah. So no, it was a really good program. Shane Bennett, Brian Stevens, instrumental in that. It's because of all the people with my old man coming through the ranks, like with the New South Wales Institute of Sport, and I had a coach, Jim Beer, and then obviously through the AIS and through that program, and went professional. So happy days.
How'd you make it there from the age of 11? You obviously have some family history in the sport. Not to discredit you, it came down to hard work, but what was the sort of process? Did you start off at a club, or did you sort of get a bit of an insight word from your uncle or anything on how to navigate through it?
No, my parents never pushed me into anything. I'm very grateful for what they did, what they provided me with. I did all sports as a kid, and obviously, as you said, the pedigree that my old man had and my uncle. I always looked up to them as a kid, push came to shove. I was doing weekend sports and trying to cycle, going through school, and it just got a bit too hard. And I was like, I want to give cycling a crack. And my old man's like, I hope you're doing it for the right reasons and not because of me. I said, no, I actually want to try and be pro. And anyway, I left school in year 10. Did an apprenticeship as a carpenter with Grant Law down in Wollongong, and Andrew McGee as well back then. So obviously McGee rings a bell. Brad McGee's older brother it was. And so did my apprenticeship and went to the AIS, and bang, happy days, went pro.
We are live, so any questions that you have for Chris, just type it below and we'll see them on here. We'll pass them on. Stewie Trips just joined. Stu just won silver at the Olympics, the Paralympic Games. So, g'day Stu, welcome home too. I saw some photos from the parade. Well done.
Congrats, mate.
So once you get that, you get into Cofidis. You get signed the end of 2005. Obviously, with the MAPI under 23, you spent some time over in Europe. How big's the transition from that sort of team? Because that team exists now, not in that way, but that under 23 sort of squad. How does it transfer to World Tour?
Well, so obviously, back then, obviously the name change and sponsors. The change from racing under 23s to World Tour, it's a big jump. I don't know.
Were the races insanely faster? Like, was it just another level?
It was, in a sense. I think the races are longer. I was with the under 23s, and then I went back to the under 23 World Road Championships, and obviously the Cofidis thing came about with Stuart O'Grady and Matt White.
Yep.
But obviously I got results in the under 23s as well, and the directors liked what they saw when they were out in Australia from Cofidis, and just came about like that. And so obviously I owe Stuart O'Grady and Matt White a lot, because they helped me get a foot in the door. And then so I mean, it was strange. Like I did prepare myself to get my head kicked in as a pro, and I trained pretty hard. And I think it was my third race in, fourth race or something. I did French Cup, Cholet, and I ended up winning that. So
the handy one over there for a French team.
It was good, yeah. But I mean, also during the season in the under-23 program, I went and did a training camp and everything with the Cofidis feeder team, Aix-en-Provence, and I got a good life lesson there. I was actually on the phone to my old man, like just crying. You know, I was dumped in a French town in the middle of nowhere. Spoke a little bit of French because I was trying to learn it. Had to find training roads, and I rang Dad and I was like, I just want to come home. Like,
probably a story for a lot of other young men and women over there.
I cracked. Everyone goes through it, but in the tough times, it's when you succeed. And then I was on the phone to Stewie, and I'll never forget this. Stuart O'Grady said, "Mate, if it was that easy, everyone would do it." And that just turned my whole thinking around, and dug myself out of a hole and told myself that I wanted it, and yep.
The rest is history.
Basically.
So Cofidis, and then you were there for 2 years.
Yep.
And then went over to Slipstream.
Yep.
Who were
changed
who were they there?
Slipstream Sports. Where changed to Garmin.
Yep. Yeah. And so that was obviously a pretty big change. You obviously acclimatised yourself well to the French sort of way of life and cycling, and then you nick over to what was a US registered team.
Yep.
And Jonathan Vorders and co.
Yep.
I think, how was it working under JV? Was it a big change?
Well, he spoke English. So that was a plus.
That helps.
No, he was really good JV. So don't have a bad word to say about him. So he sort of, never really got involved. Sort of left that to the lower management. And he was always there. And training camp in Boulder, big team get together, and then that was basically it. Sort of hardly saw him through the year, but yeah. So.
And your first race for them was it Tour of Sutton? In 2000?
No,
that was 2009. That big result.
Yeah,
So.
2008. Went and did Qatar.
Yep.
So you can probably see that on YouTube somewhere. We had a big crash. We had an awesome team. That first year was Julian Dean, Magnus Backstead, David Miller. I can't even think of who else. Marpe Mashkan.
Was we go 09?
He was there in 2009. He went to HTC with Cav.
Yep.
High Road and Telecom, T-Mobile, whatever. Did Tour of Qatar that year. But Sun Tour was with Wigo in 2009, yeah.
And how was it riding with, obviously we'll talk about Team Sky a bit later, but how was it sort of, did you have to pinch yourself in those Cofidis and then those Garmin when you sort of sat there and looked around the bus, or did you think, no, I deserve to be here, this is where I should be?
Yeah, I think that was indented in my mind from a young age with my old man and my uncle. A lot of people did say, oh, I only got selected for this team because of
your last name.
Yeah, and so I always worked that little bit harder. I always felt like, even through my whole career, like I always had to prove myself, prove my spot, and I think that's why I had a lot of success. So
does that make those, like that Kern and that Vuelta stage where you're just a little bit sweeter, just a little bit of a secret finger to the haters?
I wouldn't say that, but
you can say that.
No, I don't think. Yeah.
Well, you just didn't think it was just a win. It was your job.
Yeah, it was my job at the end of the day, but it was just the team that was like around me for that race. That makes all the difference. We had a great bunch of guys in every year that I was pro with Cofidis, Garmin, and obviously Team Sky, and the riders. Make it, and especially the staff, all the people that you don't see behind the scenes. A great bunch of guys, and good banter, good morale, and all that sort of stuff. And I put it down to the team and the teamwork. Everyone sacrifices themselves for you on any given day, and when you get the win, it just makes it that little bit sweeter. And
Matt Keenan, g'day. I did just ask you a question. I did. Matt Keenan's tuned in and asked about the balance between the advantages of being Gary Sutton's son versus the expectations and pressure of a son of a world champ. And obviously, Matt, I'm sorry, I just thought that you'd write that, so I asked it before you typed it. Obviously, did you feel that sort of carried throughout your career, and sort of, or did you just say, I'm going to make a name for myself? And now, whenever I hear the the name Sutton, I attribute it to you, to be honest.
Thanks,
you know,
mate.
that's all right. I had to say something nice to get you on here. But, you know, and then, you know, you sort of see your uncle and stuff, you know, through like Wigo docos or something like that. And it's quite a proud sort of...
Oh, it is. I'm super proud of, like, my uncle. Obviously, he coached me as well. And my old man, what they've done is just unbelievable. You know, my old man's one of the most successful junior world's coach ever, and you have a look at the athletes that he produced, and then the same thing with my uncle. Like all the success on the track that GB have, that's, you know, that's all him. That's through his coaching, and obviously you've got staff underneath that. Not to discredit all the staff in GB, but you know, he oversees the whole operation. So, you know, they're both phenomenal people, and you know, I always, you know, if I could be half the men that they both are, you know, I think I'll get something out of this world. But yeah.
To put this into context, right now we are sitting in Tasmania. The wind chill here, I think, is -17. I am freezing, and CJ's just sitting here in shorts and a t-shirt. Do you know? Have you ever done the tour of Tassie?
No, I've raced in Tasmania a couple of times, but never got the chance to do Tour of Tassie. You know, there's always races that I wanted to do, like the Warnie, Melbourne to Warrnambool.
Only the best of us do that, mate.
Yeah. Have you won it?
No, in my own mind.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, no, I always wanted to do that, but it's just like when you finish the season, it's really hard to try and swindle that.
All right, Matt Keenan, how's Gary cope with being Chris Sutton's dad?
Well, they always used to...
He never rode for Team Sky.
Yeah, well, they always, you know, a bit of family, you'll never be as good as your old man and everything. And
dinner table conversations.
Yeah, and I just had enough one night, and I said, well, I'm the only Sutton to ever finish a Grand Tour, and that was just like silence. And
game over, mic drop.
Yeah, so I was just like, I didn't mean it in a bad way, but it was just good banter.
If you and the lovely Jill have a son or daughter, cycling preference?
No, they're going to have a tennis racket and a golf club.
So you're going to have the two with the most money?
Nah, you know what? Whatever they want to do, you know, I'll just let them do it. They can make up their own minds. If they go down the cycling path, then I'll support that, and you know, Jill will as well. I'll say that it's hard, but at the end of the day, you're the person that has to put the bike shoes on at 4:30 in the morning when it's raining, cold outside. You've got to put the hard yards in. So I'll support them in whatever they want to do. If that's what they want to do, then happy days.
So talk us through, you can't ride at the moment, so you've been keeping fit, you've been walking a fair bit.
Yep.
See your Snapchats on treadmills every day.
That's only when it's raining.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I started to think you don't like the outdoors. So how's that sort of impacted your life? Have you found that something like walking is far more therapeutic? Obviously you touched on the depression at the start. Do you find it a bit more therapeutic? It's a bit calmer, or?
Yeah, hands down. Like, so we got back today. Obviously, with a lot of driving, we're up early. And then the guys get up. They don't see the other side of the fence when you.
Mitch over there cleaning bikes for the last 4 hours.
He was still cleaning bikes 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
Because obviously with the prologue, 9:30, I think he came in, had some food. So, you know, and then we were up early this morning. And then you're driving all day to the start, the race, and then drive back. And I got back, I was just shattered. I could have had a sleep, but just wanted to get up, go for a walk, 9 k's a day, like an hour 15. Yeah. I just had, like, obviously going through depression, I put on a lot of weight because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't ride. So I got back into a routine, just started eating like just proper meals, changed a few things around, and just started exercising. And yeah, pulled off 11 kilos in 6 weeks, and yeah, so that's basically it in a nutshell. So,
incredible.
But yeah, my wife played a big part in that. Like, I say it all the time, and you know, she's just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
So.
Mate, we'll go back to the racing. Moved to Team Sky in 2010.
Yep.
Were you the longest serving Team Sky employee on the bike?
There were, I think there was like 6 of us there at the end.
Yeah, okay.
Just left, so it's not bad after 6 years.
6 years, yeah. And talk me through those big wins. Obviously, Kern is a huge race.
Yeah.
How did that sort of play out? And I forget who was second in that year.
Was was it Greipel maybe, or
Yeah.
Hatarovic?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. So talk us through like how that sort of race plays out in your head. Sort of really quickly. It was it wet?
No, it was cold.
Yeah.
Because I remember
thing.
I remember my old man. I got arm warmers on. It was cold. But yeah, no, it's just one of those days where everything just happens like in slow motion. You can see everything, and I had a bit of inspirational words there with Matt Heyman at the end on the finish laps, and yeah, I'm really up for it. And he goes, good. He took my wind vest, and I had 2 pairs of armicles on. It was cold, so I finished with one. But he took that. He goes, give me that, and you better be up for it. And anyway, the boys just nailed it. Like, watch it on YouTube. It's one of the best lead outs, and just worked like clockwork. Yeah, and Edvald Bosenhagen's like incredible athlete. And he goes, oh, you did so much work for me. Like in 2010, he goes, oh, I want to lead you out today. So I was like, all right. And then that was it.
Win.
Yeah, I got myself a little donkey on the podium, like one of those plush ones, not a real one.
No big wheel of cheeses or anything?
Nah, I just got a fake donkey. Thought I was
got
going to get a real donkey. Yeah. Got that.
You would say no even if it was.
No.
And winning a Grand Tour, like winning a Grand Tour stage is, I don't know what percentage of riders don't make it. You won a stage of the Vuelta in that same year, 2011.
Yep.
Yeah. What was that like?
Same thing, just like clockwork. It was hot, but the team was just unbelievable, and Bradley Wiggins phenomenal. just tapped himself on the arse cheek and took me up round the outside, and it was just a finish that just sort of just opened up. It was like Moses parting the sea. Just opened up and
make way for Sutton.
Yeah. I wish. No, but Vicente Reynez jumped, and I tacked on his wheel and got up the top of this little pinch, and I was like, oh, that hurt, and I looked around and I was like,
no one
could win here. And then and that was it.
So back home, you obviously can't ride, so you've gone back to the Shire.
God's country.
Just Cronulla for those of you watching at home. Don't go there.
Up, Sharkies.
And
yes.
Big win over the Storm last weekend. You celebrate?
At home. I did want to go to the game, but obviously I had to come to Tasmania early, and
which is great, which you loved.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did weigh up my options, and I was like, well, when they win, you're going to stay at the ground longer with the trophy, and then obviously I would have rolled down to Shark Park, and they got back at around 2 a.m. with the trophy, so and I had to get up early and come to Tasmania, so that's life. You've got to do what you've got to do, but I watched every minute of it. I felt like I played every minute of it, and I'm just so happy that it happened.
When you ever walk down to the club, do you get a bit of the head wobble and get into the rooms or anything? And
no.
No? You don't get any special treatment?
No.
None?
No.
You
Why?
don't drop the name at the club?
No. Why?
I would.
We're all friends in the Shire. Just like, come on in. Like,
Gated community.
Yeah, you're a member of the Shire. Yep.
Mate, thanks so much. Oh, hold on, Gary Tilley. Why can't you ride? Oh, sorry, Gary. Do you want to touch on why Ewan had to mention the doggies? Remember to ban you from this page, Ewan. Why can't you ride, CJ? Do you want to go through quickly why you can't ride?
I got 2 bulge discs, and I did half think when I was in a lot of pain. Like, I got married at the end of last year in October, and came home and had all tests done because they couldn't find out what was going on. And it's actually the sponsor of the Sharkies, Southern Radiology, that's around the corner from where we live. And I saw 2 back specialists, and they sent me there to get x-rays, and 2 bulge discs, and I had all inflammation up my spine, and so I had 4 injections, 2 on the Monday, 2 on the Tuesday, just so I could walk up the aisle when I got married. So, and then it progressively got worse, and I was toying with the idea of surgery, and a lot of people that had what I needed to have done, it hasn't worked. It worked for a little bit and then just made it worse. So I went and saw an osteopath, and she's been phenomenal. And she was confident. So she goes, if I can't, she said she can fix everything that's going on with my body. She goes, she just can't fix bulge discs. And I said, okay, well, if you could be, you'd probably be God.
Yeah.
But she goes, if I can't fix what's going on, I'll pay for your surgery. So I was like, she's pretty confident. So I started off seeing her once a week for 3 months, and we went a few visits 2 weeks apart. Now we're at 3 weeks, and the difference is just phenomenal. So I still get a bit of soreness in my back, but they reckon maybe by December I can be back on the road doing a few rides. But
So you do just want to jump back on the bike?
that's probably that was the hardest thing to cop. Like, it would have cushioned the blow if I was still able to ride.
Yeah.
But the fact is I wasn't able to ride. That was the frustrating thing, because when you retire, obviously you're still going to ride, because
Yeah.
that's what we do. We have fun. That's why we ride a bike, and we love it. And yeah, so I just wish I could have ridden a bike. It would have been easier, but I'm just doing all the right things, and they reckon I could be on the road. Otherwise, the reason they're not letting me on now is because if I hit a hole or a cat eye, I'll compress the discs.
Right.
So I can't do that. As it is, like when I saw the osteopath last week, she goes, you're overstretching your back, and obviously driving long hours, the first thing you do is you stretch when you get out, and she said I've got to be mindful because I'm compressing my discs.
Mate, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you back on the bike. If you have one word of advice for people watching on whether they make the jump from D grade to C grade, or kids trying to go pro, what would it be?
Take too many shortcuts and you end up going around in circles.
No, just jot that one down.
Nah, just work hard. If you've got a dream and a goal, anything's possible. Look at me, I got to live my childhood dream. So get out there, have fun. That's the most thing. That's what I say to the guys in the team. Enjoy it and have fun. That's what it's all about. You've got to enjoy it. Like, you don't enjoy it when it's raining, but at the end of the day, you can sit back at the dinner table and have a laugh at stuff that happened, and that's it. Just enjoy it.
Mate,
have fun.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thank you heaps. Guys, we'll be back next Friday, back to regular programming next Friday, hopefully with a very special guest who makes bikes up north in Queensland. Thanks very much. Have a fantastic weekend. See you next week.